Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show. And I'm here with my man, Charlie from cultivatecrypto.com. We're here on episode 103. Bitcoin is going to crash. Here is when. We're going to zero, Charlie. How you doing?
Oh, great. I love every time Bitcoin goes to zero. I try to buy more, try to buy all of it.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I need a crash, honestly. I need a crash.
Yeah, the longer that it takes to kind of, what do you call it? Just consolidate, the more time people get to buy more, basically. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I will say that in regards to this whole market hitting 50K, I think there's a lot of distracting things going on right now in the mainstream normie mind. The whole Fauci juice situation, let's put it that way. The Fauci juice situation, and then also the situation in the Middle East is kind of deterring a lot of eyes. And I think it's also a sign of the times to an extent. Bitcoin goes to 50,000 and not too many people are like, oh yeah, whatever. It's already been there. It's just shows like this, when
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, this sums it up right here.
Retard alert.
I think once we have a stable week of 50K, and it's like people are so selfish. Like, what were we, like 48 or something right now? Right?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
And I think once we have like a stable week, we're going to see more of an influx. But I mean, this is all piling up to what we predicted, that we're going to see a big market run up in October. We're about a month away from October, and this is a pretty solid foundation.
Yeah, definitely. And we've already basically done the hardest part for Bitcoin, which is give it a positive 60-day cycle. I mean, right now the cycle high is on day 33, which is like neutral to positive. It's not like extremely positive, but what I'm looking for here this week basically is for Bitcoin to stay, around the current levels. And if it can generally stay around the current levels, then yeah, like you said, people get confidence and it boosts up. And then, I think we get one more potential, like bit of a dynamite run. And then it's kind of like a last gasp. And then we start getting like actually a pretty big dump. But the word crash is very relative, right? It's like, yeah, compared to gold, Bitcoin pumps and crashes like crazy every single day, right? But like compared to its normal history, I mean, a move down in this case by like $10,000 going from like, let's say it gets to 55,000, it goes down to 45,000. That's not really that big of a deal, right? That's like 15 to 20% move, very healthy correction. For Bitcoin, you need more than a 25 or 30% dump to actually have something of significance, mostly in the market. But yeah, I think people just kind of get used to, it's kind of like when you dip them into like a pot of boiling water. If you boil the water as they're sitting in it, you don't really notice it. And I think that's kind of what's happening with Bitcoin is as we moved up towards 50K, people are like, this is nice, but I've kind of been here before, like you said. And 64K, everybody just always wants new all-time highs. And it's kind of hilarious because when Bitcoin was, let's say, below 20K, people weren't really caring about accumulating Bitcoin until it went past 12K and 15K. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, starting to get excited. And the bears came out, the bulls came out. Everybody's kind of wondering what it's going to do. And it's just like, it's the same thing all over again. And when the price goes to 200,000 at some point, right, people are going to get used to that. And then when it goes down to 100,000, they're going to be like, oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing. It's going to zero. And it's just like, God damn, people, like, have some perspective. But, everybody is very emotional on their price point where they buy.
Yeah. And then that's just you and I, we get frustrated when we see that stuff. But it's like, we've been in this market forever. So like, it's kind of, to an extent, we're kind of like, it's becoming predictable at this stage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's a good thing for guys like us. And, that's why the crypto mindset course has been so successful, just because of our ability to stay level headed. And, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the crypto mindset course. And like, Obviously, not financial advice. It's purely crypto education. So we're not legally liable for pretty much anything you do. So go to hell. But over $10 million have been generated minimum in the crypto mindset course.
Oh yeah, I've talked to, in the last week and a half, I've had 2 consults with guys who've made over $1 million in the last 6 to 9. Well, basically, probably I would say about the last 9 months, if I were to give it, a little bit of room there. But yeah, 6 to 9 months, basically. We have individuals who have made over $1 million, and that's just, they've invested maybe, something between like $3,000 to $4,500 in, the course plus one-on-one consultations, plus whatever else. So it's like, that's a pretty good bang for your buck, I might say.
Yeah, and we're pretty much beyond we're beyond the whole like I don't even want to say this word, but begging people to sign up. We never begged, but it's pretty much, it's just we don't even need to do this.
Oh yeah.
Second of all, we don't need, I think the chat already knows, the people watching already know, the subscribers definitely know. It's only a matter of time before we're proven right again and again and again, especially going into this cold winter. I think the winter is going to be something that's pretty revealing as well, as more and more people kind of get locked up at home due to cold weather and or certain governmental influences. We're going to see more money printing. We're going to see more lockdowns, and this is going to kind of force people. I have a friend who's in Vietnam right now, and he, literally they have the military industry, they have full martial law in Vietnam right now, and
wow.
Yeah, the military is delivering food to the people's houses and stuff. And he's telling me, he's well, I've been cooped up at home, so I'm looking into Gemini, and I'm looking into APYs, and I'm looking into stable coins and all these ways to earn income while I'm at home. This is a guy in Vietnam, you know what I mean? So yep. I think the winter is going to push a lot of people indoors, and I think naturally news is going to be a bigger part of their lives, and they're going to be looking at crypto, and the strength of crypto is just going to continue to grow as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting winter, to say the least.
Yeah, there's one interesting thing about that. I actually saw some stats recently, I think it was about a week ago, where they were saying what countries have the highest growth rate of people jumping into crypto. And Vietnam was on the, I think was number 1 or number 2 on the list in countries, I think, over this calendar year. So I was interesting, kind of high growth area. But then, yeah, like you said, when people are, at home and stuff, the people who actually want to change their lives, and the people who are okay, I do need a nest egg. I do need something to fall back on. I do need to control my own money. I mean, what other market are they going to go to, right? They're going to go to the stock market and gain 5-10%. And then, we get more in inflation. So they're barely even just saving their value. Because, I mean, right now in the States, right, people are quitting jobs because they're getting paid, if they get paid less than $18 an hour, you have to give them, a bonus for staying longer than 6 months in a lot of situations. So, people are rather accepting, stimulus or government funding over working, a part-time job or a job, that's below $20 an hour. And back, when we were in, high school or college, right, $8 an hour was pretty damn good. $10 an hour was fantastic. Anything over that, I was feeling rich. So, it's kind of crazy how inflation just in the course of, a decade or so, has massively changed that much to where, $20 or less doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's you'll be paying $50 or $100 to go to a movie one of these days after, within the next decade practically. So if you really want to save your value, which is really what you're working for every single day, right? You're looking to find a way to take your time, right? Equate that to value to give to other people. And then money is the form that you try to freeze the time that you gave up to do that. And with inflation, it's just impossible to do that. You're always losing, and then they tax you on top of it. So they're just taking your money left, right, and center. So, I mean, crypto is the answer. And people, I think, are starting to notice that now that it's, a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, it's almost like the governments don't want you to be financially independent, and
correct.
They want a slave class. And
yep.
a ruling class. I mean, that's just, you know, it's just, I mean, what do I know? I'm just a lowly dating coach, right?
100% correct there.
The markets, just the irony of this statement alone. Our life is just ironic in general, Charlie. you like, you just do you remember where we were at the beginning of 2019? Just like
Oh yeah,
two struggling bums.
two dudes, one mic.
And now look at us, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, less than 3 years. Like,
Yep.
out earning our. I mean, you could add up all the salaries that like our former coworkers that doubted us. It's because we knew that in 2017 we had seen something that we knew was coming to the world, which was the power of cryptocurrency, the power of Bitcoin, the power of decentralized platforms, and we stuck to our guns and we refined our craft. And now, I mean, look at us, like here we are, literally leaders of a movement, and all the people watching us, people, you know, Moon Gang, Hot Dude Army, all that jazz. It's just unbelievable to see what cryptocurrency has done in such a short amount of time as well. Very short amount of time.
Yeah, it's all about consistency, right? And I preach this like crazy in the crypto mindset course. Persistence and consistency over trying to get I love you, EC.
We love Ernie.
Over, you know, persistence and consistency over trying to get, you know, ridiculous gains in a week, in a month, in a quarter. It's nice to get, you know, a 2, 3, 4x within a quarter, or within, you know, 4 or 5x within 6 months or so. Like, that's nice. That's the bull market. I enjoy that. Not gonna lie. But at the same time, that's like winning the lottery, like right away. It's instant gratification. But the way you truly make money in any market, but especially in crypto with the volatility, is, you know, patience, consistency, and persistence, right? And then also on top of that, so that's the core. Yes. Got to figure out how to work these angles to kind of figure it out. Maybe I still have the Japanese one I couldn't figure out. So maybe I'll figure that out and get like a side view or something.
I'll come over, help you out.
Yeah. Do like a double take or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So, so it's basically like winning the lottery, right? When you win the lottery, like right away, you don't really give a crap about the money. It's easy come, easy go. But if you actually work for it and you understand what's going on with it, and you do persistence and consistency, and the core bit is understanding what you're dealing with. If you understand what you're dealing with, then you have more confidence to be persistent and consistent. So it's a bunch of different things. And it's also finding, you know, a time in your life, you know, whether it's 15 minutes a day is really all it takes. It's like, I make this joke and it's kind of a bad joke, but you know, those commercials where like, you know, for 15 cents a day, you can, instead of buying your cup of coffee, feed a kid in Africa. It's, well, you can feed yourself your retirement situation if you spend 15 minutes a day learning one new thing in crypto, right? So pay yourself basically with your time. And it's not a lot of time. I mean, anybody can do that.
And it's
so it's
free.
kind of,
it's free information.
Yeah, exactly. And just go on the internet, figure that information out. It's like panning for gold a little bit every day. And as long as you can do that, gain that knowledge, then you'll have the confidence to be consistent and persistent. And, you know, it's also kind of like the grain of rice story or compounding pennies. It's like, if you like, I think the one in Asia here is like, if you give somebody like one grain of rice that doubles every single day, would you rather have that, or would you rather have like a massive grain amount of rice right away? Or same thing with like a penny. Would you rather have one penny that compounds at double every single day? Or would you rather have $1 million right now? Well, after about a month, right, the penny compounding like far exceeds that $1 million. And that's basically what we're doing here in crypto, is we're finding places to get yield. We're getting assets that will, even just the price appreciation will outpace inflation. And then by using that, you know, like 5, 10, 20% yield, wherever you're going to find it on different coins, like with Polkadot, like a 12% yield, for example, that adds up. And you consistently do that over not only a bull market, but also, you know, towards the later part of a bear market into the next one, which is what we talk about in the course. As long as you do those things, like it's like a trickle and then a flood, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy you just get to this place where you're basically at escape velocity, leaving the orbit, and you're just like, shit, I actually am on the moon, and it feels really good. And so for us, right, not only in our business with YouTube, but then also with our crypto holdings and other areas of our life, this is true with everything that you're trying to do to improve yourself. And for us in crypto, I would say anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 years, that's doable by anybody in crypto, no matter what part of the market you came in on. So, it's just interesting to watch. But like always, people, they come in when the market's hot and then they leave as soon as there's any type of hardship, right? They're like, oh my God, Bitcoin crashed. Like, this is a scam, sell it all. And then they sell it and it goes up and they're like, shit. And they're way too prideful to get back in the market. So it's, it's not for everybody. Self-sovereignty and freedom isn't for everybody. I think somebody in the chat said there's two types of people in the world: slaves and people who are self-sovereign. And you get to choose in this day and age because of the internet. You do get to choose, your lot in life. Obviously, if you're in a certain country and in a certain situation, it's either harder or easier to do this. But generally now, with the internet being pretty much everywhere, people can take the control of their lives and be self-sovereign. But it's kind of crazy how you give people those tools and oftentimes they don't take full advantage of it.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a reason we do this show, just so you guys will understand the marketing psychology behind it. We do the show early in the morning for a reason, right? Charlie does 8 a.m. on his daily show, which is the Cultivate Crypto show, right? And then we do the Tokyo Crypto show at 9 a.m. And that's because at the beginning of the day, when you wake up, that's when you have the most willpower, and the typhoon of the day hasn't hit you yet. The bad news, your boss hitting you up, or car breaking down, or whatever nonsense that you have to deal with in day-to-day life, right? Life happens. And by starting off your day listening to us, even if you're listening to us while you're shaving your face, toasting your bread, doing your morning workout, whatever you're getting ready with, even if you're at the office, right? Even if you only take away 1% of new data in regards to this guy right here, got one of these, Charlie. Do you have any of these?
No, I don't have any of the physical ones. That's pretty dope, though.
These are 1,000 yen on Amazon. You can get a 3-pack. I can give you one. I have a bronze one. I'm going to keep the gold one, but I'll give you the bronze one.
I don't take bronze.
They gave me a silver, a gold, and a bronze, and I gave the silver one away, and I have this. But anyways, when you wake up and you study cryptocurrency first thing in the morning, it will add up. I mean, think about it. Let's just say you increase your data by 1% every day, and the only thing you watch is the Tokyo Crypto show once a week. That's a 52% data increase over the course of a year, where you are getting data completely for free.
Yep.
If you watch Charlie's show and my show, then you're getting 5 days a week. That's 5% a week and 20% a month, and that's 240% data a year increase from where you were currently, right? So again, like we said, with this market ever changing, ever evolving, I mean, who would have known a year ago that Cardano would be the number 3 cryptocurrency in the world? Definitely not Luca, but
oh, good.
But like I said, the market is wild. You got the SEC case going on with Ripple, Doge making its insane, like, retard to the moon run.
Well, here's what I love about Doge. It's just absolute proof in the weakness of the United States dollar, right?
Yeah.
If you don't need any more proof than that right there.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
If a fucking meme coin can go past the dollar and then become worth more than the reserve currency of the world, there's something wrong with it.
Yes, exactly. Anthony B says, I'm actively doing construction as I listen. You see,
Nice.
And that's what I'm saying. That's how you're going to get out, and that's how you're going to take it to the next level. Because one way or another, I'm telling you guys that you will be using cryptocurrency.
Yep.
You will be using cryptocurrency. It's just, are you going to get ahead of the pack or not? And no, it's not like some Illuminati money and they're going to like turn off your chip if you like don't comply with the New World Order or anything like that.
They'll do that if you use the central bank digital currency. They literally, like, there's an interesting thing happening in China right now. If we want to get into some FUD, I can get into some good FUD here that I talked about on the show a little bit yesterday. Perfect. So China, right? They're coming out with their central bank digital currency, and they're the first government to do so. There's going to be obviously every government's going to eventually come out with one because it allows them to see what the citizens are doing a lot more transparently with their money, right? Which is blockchain technology, using blockchain technology, which is what is based on Bitcoin, right? And then the other thing is they have the power to censor transactions if they have a centralized currency. So the difference between Bitcoin and a central bank digital currency is that Bitcoin is decentralized and cannot be censored, and anybody can use it no matter their political beliefs or whatever. Whereas the central bank digital currency can actually, like, they can literally find out who you are and say, okay, this person can no longer do transactions of a certain amount for a certain amount of time. So that's obviously, people are like, money is already digital. Why do we need a central bank digital currency? We don't. It's for control, right? And that's, again, where we get the tinfoil hat things. But you can see it in China, right? China is a little different from the United States with how they like to use their money or how they like to control their currency. The United States likes to have other countries, hoard up dollars and, use it as a way to help pay off debts and stuff. Whereas China does not like the yuan to leave its borders. It wants complete control over its currency. And so recently there's some court cases which in China have kind of led to potential situations where they're basically saying it's illegal if you do currency trades from cryptocurrency to other countries' currencies. Basically, Forex trading between crypto and Forex is going to become illegal or is already in that state in some areas of China. So basically, the court case was somebody tried to trade the Bitcoin for the South African Rand, I believe it was.
Right.
And they're like, okay, 4 to 5 years in jail.
Whew.
Yeah.
Chinese,
so
that's like 17 years.
Oh, I bet. And then also there's another court case that said, like, yeah, if you got fleeced by like a centralized exchange or whatever, sorry, we can't help you because cryptocurrency is not protected under the law in some parts of China. So it's going to be interesting to see, how different countries react once they have their central bank digital currencies. They're going to try to use it as a way to keep people out of cryptocurrency for a bit. But generally speaking, people are smart enough to figure out like where they need to go to survive and thrive. And after a while, if people, it's kind of like I don't know how to pronounce the word, asphyxiation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like basically you start choking people out financially through, basically that's kind of what's happening right now, right? And then you can do that a little bit more precisely with the central bank digital currency. And then once people are gasping for air, they're desperate for money. Where do you think they're going to go? They're finally going to realize when they actually need it that cryptocurrencies are the place where they can control their own money, they can create their own wealth, and they can do so from, their computer. Just like a person from Goldman Sachs can trade at their terminal at work. You can do the same, sitting at your desk or sitting on the toilet. It doesn't matter, right? We have mobile phones everywhere now, so that's going to, be a change that we already have it. But most people don't recognize that, and they won't recognize it until they absolutely need it, which might be too late for a lot of people. So like you said, right, everybody's going to have to deal with this situation eventually, and they better get in front of it, is all I'm saying. And so we try to accelerate that with the crypto mindset course, so you really understand what you're dealing with, and then understand it's like kind of like two things, right? Getting you from 0 to 1. And then 1 to wherever level you want to be, basically, because it's first getting dunked in the water of crypto and understanding what it is, but then after that, then gaining more knowledge than other people in the crypto space. So it's first getting ahead of the normies, and then getting ahead of the people who are already understanding crypto. So it's cool to see people do that, but like we said, right, not everybody wants to be self-sovereign.
Yeah, and I just like I said, I mean, my thing is I just don't want anybody to tell me what to do, like
Yeah.
pretty much at all. And so I think that's one of the better things about cryptocurrency is it just allows you to make life choices for yourself. But like I said, I think as I get older, I'm kind of realizing like I don't know if people really want self sovereignty, but I think cryptocurrency offers a path to those who do. And I certainly do. And I think the viewers, we've got almost 500 people watching us live right now. I think they want us to teach them the way of self sovereignty as well. If you guys want self sovereignty, if you just want to be your own boss and make your own money, put a 1 in the chat. Just let us know. Both of our channels, combined, we have 470 live viewers. But yeah, like I said, the whole goal here is just to teach guys how to escape the system, because the system is literally designed to fail. It's a fiat system that every fiat currency has failed. No, we're not going to buy gold. No, if like people are saying like, well, if there's a global collapse, gold will be the only thing of value. No, it will be water and food and seeds and the ability to kill and self-defend, that and guns and ammo. So that's people aren't gonna be like, hey, well, I've got this gold, and so now I'm gonna live forever in this collapse. No, it doesn't work like that. So I think like going back to the original point here, it's all about being self-sovereign, and I do think that I have faith that like humanity is trending in that direction. I mean, like what's the alternative? Like we go into like this slave like dark age where we're just censored and the world is living in slavery and we're all just enslaved, and like that's just, you can't, I mean, the elites have been trying to enslave people forever. You really think they're going to finally pull it off now? I mean, they tried with this this beer situation, beer
A
virus.
variety of IPAs.
Yeah, and now we got the airline variant of it, and so I just think that, but more and more people are kind of waking up to the bullshit, right? Like we have people like violently protesting in Australia, protesting in Italy. The French are protesting. Like the Californians are spurging out, right? Americans are starting to protest, and people are globally waking up. And the thing is, like, once you like red pill people on this shit, like you can't unred pill someone. Like they're not like, oh, like nobody's like learned about the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to fiat currency. I think fiat is really a better choice. And so I just don't see this. I don't see this slowdown. I don't see things going back. I think this is the natural evolution of the human race. Like we are heading towards a more self-sovereign lifestyle. And I think the thing is, with all these decentralized sites popping up like D Live, we're on D Live right now on your channel, I believe. And we are noticing on the back end, me and Charlie noticing like the popularity of these decentralized sites and censorship free platforms are growing as well, because Bitcoin is not popular, right? You can't even advertise on Facebook ads in regards to cryptocurrency. And so Google just ruled that back, but Facebook still, Facebook's like the gold standard, if you will.
Yeah. But well, you can see there's always some spurgs in the chat saying, I don't want to hear about politics. I don't want to hear about blah, 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 blah. And it's just like
politics.
Oh, it's just in my chat. I had to put somebody in timeout. It's just stupid people, basically. It's just like
politics.
Oh, somebody would basically, I banned I didn't ban the person. I just put him in a timeout, but it's like you alienating people with this person, basically. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, this is what I hate about, well, hate's maybe a strong word, but it's pretty much the right word. But it's like,
you talking about this idiot?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, dude,
the body language of the photo alone, that says everything I need. The body language alone tells me everything I need to know.
It's one of these things, like, we don't need, this is why we do what we do on YouTube, is because YouTube will like shadow ban us or put us in timeouts for, put us make a yellow flag on the monetization for saying what we think, right? And it's okay to have people with a variety of opinions, and it's okay to talk about what you want to talk about on YouTube. And yeah, you basically just if you ask for people to censor themselves on a variety of topics, I mean, crypto literally and money touches every single part of our aspects of our lives, right? And so why would you not talk about these things and have an open conversation if you don't want to hear it? I think there's people, looking at today's topic, which is Bitcoin's going to crash. You're like, yep, go crawl back to your safe spaces. And it's like, we have to talk about these things, when it comes to money as well, just because free speech is literally dying, right? Like over there in Australia, if you are trying to leave your house, you basically have to avoid the I don't know what you even want to call them, the thought police, right? Is basically probably what it boils down to. So it's just ridiculous, how censored society is becoming. It's like, if you don't like it, you don't have to listen, but you should be at least open-minded enough to have a conversation about it. But anyways, this kind of shit pisses me off, because why, when everybody's trying to go in the same direction, Bitcoin doesn't give a shit about politics. It's like, if you think this and you think that, it's okay, right? It allows you to use that. And that's where we get central bank digital currencies, where one party's in power, they don't want you to talk about something, and all of a sudden they're going to censor you because you said something they didn't like. And then you get a social credit score and all this shit. So, that's why I like, that, sometimes we talk about topics that YouTube doesn't like to talk about. And, because there's a lot of other people who just basically are not doing that because they're pandering to the algorithm, pandering to ads. And it's like, if we keep doing that, then where did free speech go? But anyways, I'll just stop on the rant.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're looking like this, like, we are crypto. Like, this is not a joke. Like, we are heavily involved in the cryptocurrency community. We just put our faces on the internet for people to see. And if you're a kind of person that like if you're worried about my character beyond the information that we can put into your mind to literally make you more money, if you're worried about that, then you deserve to stay an economic slave. If you can't control your feelings, you're going to lose in crypto for sure. Yep. You're going to lose in life if you can't control your feelings like this, but you're going to lose in crypto in general as well. And like I said, me and Charlie, like, we don't like force anybody to believe any politics. When have we sat on the panel and been political and been like, vote for this guy, vote for that guy? We're like, we vote for Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto 2024.
It's Satoshi we trust.
And if you're going to get a really like emotional reaction like that, then you're going to lose money regardless of what we teach you anyways. But yeah, like it's just funny that if you can't see that, then you've got to look inside and have a conversation with yourself. And for that guy, if your girlfriend will allow you to reach into her purse and take your balls out, there's your alienation right there.
Yeah, and we don't need to pander for users, because we're telling it like it is.
When do we ever pander to the YouTube algorithm, to monetization, to like, oh, don't type that in the chat, guys? Like, we don't do that because we know that our fucking message is solid. If you've been watching us from 2019, you have clearly seen the evolution of our lives. And you have clearly seen, more importantly, the evolution of the cryptocurrency market that we called in 2019. Called to the fucking T, might I add. So if you don't like that, I mean, this is for you. You can leave. It's just that simple. Like, go watch somebody else and go
watch BitBoy.
Yeah, go watch BitBoy. Go watch these other people. Go get second-rate information, because we're the best. Like, the Crypto Mindset course is the #1 educational cryptocurrency course on the planet. It's on the planet. Okay. So again, if you can't check your feelings at the door, may the force be with you, is all I say.
We need a variety of opinions in this world. And well said. Anyways, getting back to the important task at hand. It's always good to go on rant every once in a while. But so Yeah, I guess, well, we haven't looked at the charts yet. I think this is like the longest we've gone in a Tokyo Crypto Show in quite a while that we haven't looked at the charts.
Yeah. Let's take a look here.
Let me pull it up. Let me know when you got it up there.
It's up. I'll go full
Right.
screen for charts full screen now.
So what do we got here? Basically, oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing, going to zero, right? So, I mean, it's a decent dip over the last 3 days, right? From wick to wick, almost 7%, right? So a 7% dip really is not that bad here in the crypto space. It's pretty normal. Anything, in the course of 24 hours, that's less than 10%. This is over 3 days. Anything that's less than 10% is pretty normal. And then here we have this previous dip that did 9.4% over a few days. So yeah, as we kind of come up here, this is, what does this kind of look similar to? This is a microcosm of this situation over here, right? I don't know if you kind of can notice that clearly, but basically you see this type of pretty steep run up, and then a decent drop, then a good run up, and then a drop, a little bit of a run up, drop, a little bit more of a run up, right? And basically you have divergence here on the RSI, right? So we have this in a, like I said, a microcosm fashion here. Pretty steep run up, good pullback, good run up, smaller pullback, decent run up, but not as much, a little bit of pullback. And I think we grind a little bit higher here, but basically we do have on the daily scale a less intense form of bearish divergence here. So I do think we come into a cycle high here. And if we take a look at the high so far here on day 33 of the Bitcoin cycle, if we go to about day 40, which would be August 30th, between day 40 and 45, the early part of September, right? That would be like pretty solid in terms of like an amount of time to have to the upside. And then we get somewhere, if we kind of have a harder time grinding up here, like on these shorter bursts to the upside, just, kind of eyeballing it here, we get like a 9% increase there. And then this mid-cycle jump here being like a 15% increase. So let's say we get like a 10 to 12% increase from the current lows into, like the end of the month towards $52,000, $53,000, something like that. That would be pretty normal here. And then around the early first week of September, or if we get a really good run to the upside, right, it could go into the middle of September. But I'm thinking because of just kind of as we move up here, kind of gets a little bit weaker, a little bit weaker, a little bit weaker, right? And then one more gasp, right? And then we won't see something like this in terms of, right, like I said, this is a microcosm. So when we take a look at where we've come from so far, that's a 71% increase. Obviously, that previous run, if we're just kind of going from where it started there to maybe this area right around here, right? Just generally speaking, obviously that was much more at a 253% run. So you can try to figure out the ratios on that if you like, and try to figure out, okay, in that case, then if we were to have an equal size dump, but in relation to kind of the scale of this, what would that be? I mean, you could try to figure that out. I don't know if it's going to be that useful, but I would say when we come down here into the cycle low, let's say from, if we just kind of give it a date here, from maybe September 4th, 5th or so into the day 60 of the cycle, which would be around the 19th, 20th or so of September, basically during the crypto mindset course, then let's just say you get from this area, like a 20% dip, right? A 20% dip would bring us back down to 42,000, back down to maybe this, what is that? The 100-day moving average here. That'd bring us maybe down to a 28% dip. Something like that would be pretty normal for crypto and would give everybody a very good opportunity to stack up on coins which have been successful up until this point. So, right, Solana broke out, right, and is going very well. That's a good time. If it pulls back because Bitcoin's pulling back, that's a good time to buy more. If your thing is Ethereum, if your thing is DOT, whatever it is that you're looking to do that's actually been performing well during this, uptrend here, right, that's a time to basically keep buying more. So, yeah, I want to see Bitcoin on the drop stay above this area here. So we're basically looking, which is, about 37,300. So we want to see it stay mostly above this 100-day moving average. And then if we can attain that for the cycle low, so this is, 1 month of potential price action, maybe let's say at $39,000, then from there we get a nice move to potentially, through October into November. Then, we maybe struggle a little bit in the high 50s, low 60s, then we make new all-time highs going into the end of the year. And then once Bitcoin breaks above its previous all-time highs, I mean,
you guys don't need $100, right? Go ahead.
That's good. We just kind of pull back here to when it broke above 20K. Once it breaks above its all-time highs, like you can see over the course of just like a month or so here, it just goes crazy, right? Like an increase here of about, on that first jump, like 111% or 114%. So if we did 114% gain from the previous all-time highs, where does that bring us? Oh, look at that, $138,000. So even buying at the current prices, even though they might be high for this current cycle, where they're at now or where they will be in a couple of days or a few days, you're still getting from basically where we're at here in terms of X's, you're almost at a 200% gain. And on a dip any lower, into the cycle low, you're going to have like a 200% gain plus, within like the last quarter of the year. And then obviously with Ethereum, it's going to be different in terms of it's going to be a higher percent gain. Obviously here, just in this last pull move up, which has been the same in time for Ethereum, that was a 99% increase. So basically you doubled your money if you bought the dip here at the cycle low for Ethereum. And on Bitcoin, it's been basically about a 70% increase. So 30% more increase there on Ethereum. And obviously the altcoins gain more. If we were to take a look at something like, let's say Polkadot, right, over that same period of time here, from here to here, Polkadot, how much has it gained? Right, 186%. So if you look at just, this basically double went, twice as more than twice as much to the upside as Bitcoin did. Bitcoin did 70%. This did 186% so far. If Bitcoin does a 200% move, what do you think Dot's going to do? Right, more, quite substantially more. So pay attention to the coins which have done well since the dip, and stack more of those. And we'll be talking about that in detail, how to do that. Some good opportunities to do that during the course, and a lot of good opportunities here to come within the quarter. And so
I'm like so ready to like participate in the crypto mindset core. I mean, I participate in all of them, but like this one, I'm really ready because I know that like December we're gonna see insane stuff. It's
like
insane,
just like a nice juicy dip, right? If let's say Dot moves up a little bit more here, touches like $35 and then comes back down, right? It could come down anywhere between, let's kind of say, this area here to down into this area here, right? You might be able to scoop it up between like $15 to $25, roughly speaking, or $22, $14 to $22. That would be like a nice area to be like averaging in,
right?
And that's like you said, right? That's like, you're just like, oh man, this is such a juicy opportunity in time to like really know what's going on in the market, really be paying attention. And then, like you said, just watch the gains roll in into the end of the year. So, on Dot, if we were to kind of pull back here, we talked about Dot going to $104, right?
Yeah, we do have a next move that we can kind of handle at the same time. Lolly Lule Low says, 499 super chat. Is it too late to purchase more Dot? Own about 75 coins, average $13. Charlie?
No. So very similar to Bitcoin, right? If we break to new all-time highs for Dot, right, I would say conservative area, once we break past new all-time highs, would be here at about $87, $90. And another move up here into the end of the year, going to $134, which is higher than our conservative price target of 104 that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, right? That's also very likely. So I would say, here $90 basically to $135, that would be the target area on Dot. So like if you're buying from the current price, we just go smack dab in the middle there. That's a 300% gain. Not too shabby. And it might even, go even higher. It could go up to here like $180. So we were pretty conservative, for the end of year targets with DOT on this next move up, during that episode. And the reason why we do that is because we want to give you guys realistic targets that you can hit, can take profits on. And then if you understand, how to play this best in the crypto mindset course, then if it does go higher, you'll know how to play that scenario. If it has a dip here in the next few months, you'll know where a good area is to buy. But, right now it's testing its 20-week moving average. It'd be awesome if it just stayed above $23. And, anywhere below $30 on DOT is a great time to be dollar cost averaging in. Anytime it tries to get into the teens, you can just start aping, basically just start throwing in a ton of money. So
there you go.
Everything's looking pretty good. And Bitcoin dominance is just going sideways. So that allows the altcoins room to run. And that's pretty much what's going on. If you want to jump on that, put yourself on the waiting list here. I think we have about 360 new people, right? And then about 4,000 or so, 4,500 returning customers that will be on this list, where we tell everybody come September 3rd here, when the course enrollment goes live from September 3rd to September 7th. You want to be on the waiting list so as soon as the course becomes available, then you can jump on, because once September 7th rolls around and the 8th comes, right, you won't be able to get into the course anymore. So whoever is in. We don't have a capped limit of people. So we're looking to get in a good chunk of people. So it'll be pretty fun. And then September 12th to about the 26th, 27th will be the webinars. So, right, just get in or have fun, staying poor, as we say.
Math Brofex sent you a pretty fat dono, $49.99 super chat to the Cultivate Crypto channel. He says, thank you, both of you so much for changing my life. I seriously can't thank the two of you enough. I was lost for far too long. Without the two of you guiding me with courses and free content, I don't even want to think about where I. Thank you both. Yes, thank you.
Good shit.
Like I said, this is why we do it, and not for $50 super chats. Like we do it. I mean, honestly, we don't need your money. No offense. Like, we appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We really do. Charlie appreciates the most. I don't get a dime of this.
I'll take you out to lunch or something.
That bill.
I know you do.
Steak and lobster in noon. But that's why we do it. We do it because we are convicted by what is happening right now in the world, now more than ever. Because with all of this rampant money printing, if you think this is not going to affect your day-to-day life, I mean, people are saying, I don't know if you have you been hearing this, Charlie, but a lot of my community, because there's like thousands of people in my community, a lot of people are telling me that the food prices in America are going up. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because all the fucking Walmart golems that are running around, but I think that we have just begun to see the tip of inflation. And if they pass this, I mean, they are going to pass this infrastructure bill. It is going to be passed. So it's just, what is the extent of the spending and information in there? And that's going to add more to inflation, and it's going to artificially raise the price of crypto. But more importantly, what it's going to do is devalue the dollar. And I am not looking forward to holding any dollars right now. I am looking forward to keeping it all in crypto.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that, because right now, coming in September, so since we're on the topic of Bitcoin, quote unquote, crashing, right? Basically, the two events to watch for in September are the basically we have delayed taxes, right? We had taxes delayed from April to May, and then for people who are who got a reporting extension, usually you can extend that into August, but actually now it's extended into the mid-September. So we got that coming in mid-September, right around when we're starting to go down into that mid-cycle low, right? So whenever you have a trend confluent with FUD, or people trying to get out to pay their tax bills, basically. And whenever you have those, it can make a slightly stronger move to the downside. And then also, I think it's around September 27th is when they're going to vote on that infrastructure bill, and without any amendments or changes to the crypto portion of it. So that's going to be another FUD event. So I could see, going into the cycle low, I would say, because of Bitcoin scarcity and supply shock, the price actually does get held up quite well, right? But I think it can languish at whatever cycle low it gets to. It can languish around that area because of the FUD and because of that type of situation with people trying to pay their taxes, right? Having to cash out some crypto to pay their taxes. Then those two situations combined can lead to a little bit longer accumulation period, which is actually great for us, right? But I think that how the news, like CNBC and what's her name, Melissa Lee, the best reporter in America, calling her a reporter is like, kind of blasphemy. But anyways, or a journalist. But people like that are going to be just bashing on Bitcoin, bashing on crypto, and it's just going to be, great time for us to add more to our bag, more time to accumulate, basically. So those two events and dates are kind of something to just pay attention to, I would say.
Yeah. Like I say, I think good things are coming. Ultimately, I think good things are coming for guys like us in this market. I mean, let's just bring in some perspective to the majority of people. Bitcoin's casually floating between $48,000 and $50,000, and nobody cares. Nobody's excited. Memes aren't running off the press, and it's not on CNN, MSNBC, Money, and all that stuff. People are casually just like, meh, 50K Bitcoin. Literally last year, $3,800.
Yeah, and we had a similar kind of sentiment of kind of just shrugging your shoulders and just kind of complacency with Bitcoin. The last time I kind of felt that like to this extreme was probably around between $10,000 to $15,000 Bitcoin, right? People are just kind of like, it's still not above its previous all-time high. It's exciting for the people in crypto, but a lot of people were just kind of like, yeah, show me something Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And then it did. So we've been saying this since the beginning of July, since we got out of the Q3 course, right? We've basically been saying, accumulation ain't over until October. Mm-hmm. It gives you guys plenty of time. We gave you fair warning. We said buy within July. The lows that we had within July, I don't think we're going to see those again. So, maybe we're just lucky. Maybe we're just some random apes pressing the right keys in the keyboard and just getting lucky with it. But what do I know?
Mustang with the 449 Great British Pound says, where would you point someone with no knowledge of crypto and markets in general to learn? How much would you say you need to start money/knowledge? We got a one-stop location, and Charlie's going to share that website on the screen with us right now. On September 3rd, the Crypto Mindset course is coming out, and it's right here. All you need to do is go to cryptomindsetcourse.com and put your best email address in the email address opt-in box right there. And this will allow you to get access to 20 webinars that are gone. They're going to be done daily, twice a day, and it is a crypto binge. You will be able to get all the information. We have had over 3,000 people sign up for this course in less than a year. So the quality of this course is literally through the roof. It is the #1 cryptocurrency education course on the planet. There is no one better. Like I said, that's to an extent why we really don't need to pander to the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. We already know we're the best. We already know that we have the endorsement of some top YouTubers as well who help us get the word out. And more importantly, we teach guys about cryptocurrency in a way that they can get money off of the education. It is not a make money course. It is not a get rich quick course. It is an education course. And if you choose to educate yourself properly and make moves based upon your education, you will join the ranks of the $10 million plus we have helped people earn in less than a year in the Crypto Mindset course. So it's your one-stop shop.
Yep, 100%. And so the enrollment begins on September 3rd, ends on September 7th. If you like to buy tops, wait until September 7th. If you'd like to buy bottoms and make money, buy it on September 3rd. Get in there while the getting's good. Once September 7th at midnight Pacific Standard Time is here, you are not allowed in the course. So, you're SOL and not the good kind at that. And then, we start the webinars here on September 12th. I think I saw somebody in the chat mention, what was it here? Crypto Mind. It was Dandy Stepper said, crypto mindset turned me from crypto zero into a crypto hero. Glad to hear that. Also, I forgot even to mention the flash webinars. So we do flash webinars, meaning whenever there's something that's happening in crypto and you need to know about it, or there's another opportunity in the quarter after the live webinar sessions, which are from September 12th to about the 26th, right? Mm-hmm. If something, for example, is happening in October or in December, and we need hey, guys, all hands on deck, let's pay attention. Here's another extra webinar. We'll do 1 to 2 to 3 or 4 extra webinars beyond what you already have. And they're all recorded. You can view them at your leisure. And we just make sure that you guys get taken care of from now until the end of the year. So, and anybody who's had previous courses, right? Unfortunately, the flash webinars are only available for people within that quarter. So, if you do want the best information, like you mentioned, be sure to basically get into the course and get on the waiting list.
Charlie, people love your ambulance laden area.
Oh yeah, I'm right next to a road here, like right at an intersection on, and basically you guys got to lean into it. Every time
you don't have your Shure mic set up yet. Is that still?
No, I haven't got the soundboard. Is going to come any day now. It should be here within the next 1 to 2 days, apparently.
The fire station is right here by my place, and so there's always ambulance and fire stuff going on through here. But when you get this, it'll cancel that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not. It's typical. It's not like, dude. It's like fire hydrants. It's like ambulances and fire trucks, guys. It's not like Japan is not Japan. There's no crime in Japan.
Yeah, I told them that somebody said that the other time in the stream, and I was like, well, basically, we're not living in the country that you're living in. It's a little bit different over here, but I was a little bit morbid about it. I was like, it's probably just some old people dying,
Honestly, it's true though. It's like another Obasan dying. No, it's virtually no crime in Japan, but that's a whole other story. We don't want to get Richard's panties in a bunch. You got to stay on topic. But anyways, let's talk about this whole situation with Bitcoin crashing, why it's going to crash, what do you think it's going to crash down to, and some of the news tied into that.
Yeah, so we've covered it pretty well so far, because the two aspects of it, right? The price aspect of it is purely just look at the Bitcoin cycles and look at where it is in its trend, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't even have to think about the news, right? And I know a lot of people don't like that answer. I keep giving that from time to time because the news is made, or basically comes out and fits whatever the price is doing, right? News fits the price. The price doesn't fit the news most of the time, right? Unless you get something very, surprising that nobody expected, and all of a sudden, boom, something happens. Then yes, obviously, there are effects that, like for example, the Corona crash or whatever, those effects, can change the markets for a short period of time. But then the other side of looking at it is for the news. Yeah, just basically those 2 dates, the middle of September for when people are paying the tax extensions, and then also the tax deadline extensions, and then also the end of September, around September 27th for the infrastructure bill. Probably those line up well enough with what's happening already in the trend of the 60-day Bitcoin cycles that I would say those are probably going to be the most relevant. And then you're going to have a lot of BS in between in the news, like with China FUD, which it's classic, right? It's just ridiculous by now. If you've been in crypto long enough, you just laugh whenever the China FUD comes out about crypto. So paying attention to those things, basically. The one thing which I think is really interesting, which a lot of people aren't paying attention to, and which actually might be an interesting sentiment indicator, is what's happening with the NFT space.
Yeah.
So right now, NFTs are kind of going wild, right? And a lot of people in crypto aren't even paying attention to it because they're like, oh, JPEGs, right? How do I properly evaluate the fair value of my JPEGs? I mean, I got involved just like about a day and a half ago. I saw somebody who had my show. I think it was February of 2020 or something around there. He's a DCL blogger. He's a pretty good big guy in the space. He's actually directly connected with Gary V and Barry Silbert from Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and a few other people. We had him on a show talking about Decentraland like a year and a half ago, and he's pretty big in the NFT space. He's done tens of millions of dollars in his NFT collection and blah, 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 right? So he knows what he's talking about. And he put out a tweet yesterday about these things called My Curio cards, which were these JPEGs from 2017. And basically, there's this thing in crypto right now. They're going back and looking at the old NFT space from 2017 and 2018 to see, okay, because CryptoPunks and CryptoKitties were some of the earliest NFT things, right? And so people are like, okay, Visa, right, recently bought a CryptoPunk. They bought a CryptoPunk before they actually bought any Bitcoin. And they didn't even buy the CryptoPunk with Ethereum. They bought it with cash, right? And they bought it from like a person, like not an exchange. It was Anchorage Capital, which basically was a fund that bought it for them. It's pretty hilarious, right?
Fucking boomers are just booming away.
But here's the thing: there's these tastemakers in crypto right now, and like you got Christie's auction, the art gallery and stuff that's in New York City. That's very highbrow, right? They're starting to try to be tastemakers here in crypto, and so I bought one of these My Curio cards. Just like a day and a half ago for 0.9 Ethereum. And it's currently worth about 2.5 Ethereum. I'm just like, I think this is part of the game that a lot of people don't like, because when you're in a coin, it's very liquid, right? You can trade it, you can get in and out of it anytime. With a JPEG, right? They're non-fungible tokens, right? Which means, they're not really liquid. And so basically, you have to get a lot of people are just looking to flip them short term, but I do think there's a supply shock on some of the older NFTs, the older JPEGs in the crypto market from 2017, 2018, whichever ones the tastemakers basically decide to choose in the crypto market, they're going to go crazy, right? Our friend Bob Lucas, right? Shout out to Bob Lucas. Definitely go follow him on Twitter. And I think he has a YouTube channel as well. Good information. He even, I think, I can't pronounce the name of the art, but it was like a Frendeza or something like that. But he sold his just like the other day for $300,000. I think he bought it for probably less than 6 figures, right? There's money to be made here. And the cool thing about it is that you can buy these NFTs, right? And you can sell. They appreciate against crypto, not against dollars. So like basically what you're looking for is to get more Ethereum at the end of the day, right? And so obviously, when people start trading JPEGs and try to, become JPEG millionaires and stuff like that, yeah, it's a sign of a market that's going into a state of, ecstasy, right? But I think it's at a point right now where the people who are really focused on that industry in crypto are, it's just starting to simmer, and they're really big about it. But for the majority of people in crypto, they're still laughing it off, which I don't think is the right move. I think people should really actually try to go out there and figure this stuff out, because there is truly a ton of money to be made in that space. So it sounds ridiculous, but it is something that I think this is like the last cycle was the first cycle where NFTs even existed and people basically didn't do much with them. This cycle is where the NFTs start to get a little hot, right? They're just basically for, the people who understand it, right? The people who are basically becoming the tastemakers in this space. And then the next bull market, it's going to be wild. And then by the end of the decade, they actually will have use cases by the end of the decade. But it's kind of like Bitcoin, right? Back when it was magic internet money, there weren't many use cases for it. And people weren't really using it. People are just hoarding it, that kind of thing. And then now, right, obviously that's changed quite a lot. So, I would say this is something that, yeah, it seems ridiculous, but it's a good thing for people just kind of dabble in and understand. If you have, like 0.2 Ethereum, you're willing to kind of give up on a couple different JPEGs and see how this stuff works. So the reason why I mention it when we're talking about Bitcoin's going to crash is because when they do, they're going to come in different like short-term cycles, and then they're going to be like a big like a bust cycle at the end of the market, kind of like what the ICOs did in 2017.
Right.
And so the people who are like NFT natives who didn't even, they don't really understand Bitcoin, Ethereum as much as they understand NFTs, because that's how they came into crypto. I see right now those people don't really understand how cycles work with cryptocurrencies very much. So they're going to get left holding bags at the end of the market, just the same as what in 2017 the ICO holders got left holding, Verge and OMG and meme coins and whatever. It's going to happen the same way in NFTs. And then it's just going to be interesting to watch. But there, for now, right, because we're still in a decent part of the market, basically there's money to be made. So yeah, I can show you the JPEG if you want to see it.
I definitely want to see it. I'll also say this, that I've been on a couple dates with a couple different girls in Tokyo that are like artists, and they've expressed to me like, yeah, like I've heard about these NFTs, and these are like Japanese girls, right? And they're like, yeah, I've heard about these NFTs, and like I want to like be able to sell my art and make some money, but I just don't know how to do it.
Right.
And so like, that just shows you like these are like just like your kind of like average regular Japanese girls that are like, oh, I've heard about this NFT stuff and I've heard about the art, but I tell you what the real money maker is like onboarding people easily
Yep.
into the NFT market. Once somebody streamlines the onboarding of NFTs, like like basically upload your photo here, now you have an NFT, here's how you sell it. Once somebody creates that, that's $1 billion industry in itself.
Yeah, Rarible started in that direction, rarible.com.
Mm-hmm.
But they need, it's still like that's the easiest way to do it right now. But then there's always going to be improvement on that, right? An iteration, and that's probably coming next cycle. But you will see people, fashion people or the Kardashians or whatever, eventually probably in the next market cycle. I mean, we're seeing Gary Vee taking advantage of it this cycle. You're going to see, maybe the Kardashians taking advantage of it at some point. And, Paris Hilton's been on top of this actually since the beginning of this bull market. I think it was the first time that she ended up like selling a picture of her dog or something that she probably didn't draw herself. Once she sold that for like 20 ETH or something like that, I was like, oh shit, top of the market for at least a short-term period. And then price dropped after that. So it is when we do get NFT euphoria, it is a sign of potentially a little bit of an overheated market as well. So that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah. Artemis Cameron, this guy's in Tennessee. So some random guy came up at the gym asking me about NFTs. He had overheard me talking about crypto before. I'm telling you, a lot of people are interested in crypto, but the information is being suppressed. And of course, you got the mainstream media telling you like, oh, crypto is, you got fucking Pocahontas talking about like these shadowy supercoders on the internet are just ready to steal your data and sell it to the Russians, buy a 25-year bond stocks in the United States government instead. And it's just like, lady, do you like, it's not 1974, like when you could like lie to people easily as a politician with a smile and a handshake and they'd believe you. Like we can verify your shit now more than ever. And I think people's hatred for governments is at an all-time high, personally speaking. And I think
distrust.
I was just about to say that, as well as the trust. I think distrust in government now is at a historic all-time high, and I think that's going to the moon as well. I think because the people that do end up trusting the government like wholeheartedly, they're going to get the rug pulled on them, because that's what the government does. You trust them, they're going to rug pull you. And these people get disgruntled. They go to the internet, they go to social media, and the word gets out. And I think, like you're saying, it's just gonna the distrust, and like just pick any civilization and study the ethics of their government and let me know how that worked out for them.
Yeah,
it's in their nature to become corrupt, and that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. It absolute power corrupts, absolutely, and it's just a slow grind until that. So the one thing I love is just we're memeing our way through life in the crypto space, right? We're just like having a good time. Well, everybody else goes and tries to find ways to earn an extra buck, doing whatever. They can't do it on OnlyFans anymore, so they're going to be coming into crypto now. You know, it's one of these things where it's kind of, it's gotten such a to be such a clown world at this current moment that it's just like you just gotta, you know, have fun with it. And so, you know, I think, you know, NFTs, yeah, they are, you know, the equivalent to like a fad, you know, in terms of the short term, kind of like Beanie Babies and stuff like that. But we're already starting to see it merge from like a Beanie Baby stage into like a Andy Warhol type stage, which, you know, I think, you know, the boomers are going to be like, how dare you, you know, but I mean, that's what's happening, you know, and our generation just loves memes so much. So never, you know, disregard the power of the memes, but take a look at this shit. I just
No way. Is this real? They said they reversed the OnlyFans rule. Is that real?
Really? Interesting.
Don't you dare derail the show with fake news.
Yeah, we need sources.
I'm Googling right now.
Yeah, I read an article that some banks wouldn't work with them for wire transfers or something like that, which is part of their decision, which I kind of call BS on. Yeah, it's kind of like an excuse. I mean, I'm sure there's part of that was true, but I mean, other
I have
sites.
an article if I can share it. But they said not the banks, but the payment processors.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh wow. Artemis Cameron says, yeah, they reversed it earlier this morning. Wow.
Interesting.
That's the power of fucking simping, baby. Simping is a government is a government proof. It is a recession proof. It is hilarious. Damn. Okay, if Big Sky Traveler and Artemis are saying it, then this is definitely real. I think somebody just Mass Bro Effect just sent me a super chat. Okay, MLD, you give them too much credit calling them Walmart golems. Golem was actually so I'm thinking like, okay, so you guys are thinking Gollum. I'm thinking Golem, like the traditional Jewish like devil, like the big evil thing in Jewish mythology, Golem, and also the Pokemon Golem as well. But everybody just thinks I'm saying Gollum, like Gullum. But no, I'm saying Walmart Golem, the way you have it spelled there. And there's just a big hulking Karen mask, you know, like, where is your mask? But yeah, you know, I think, you know what I think too, Charlie? I think it's a twofold thing. If they did not, if they didn't reverse this OnlyFans thing, all they were going to do is make like a cryptocurrency version of it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Decentralized. It just basically push it underground a little bit.
Yeah. But then that would just cause it to surface to the top. And so another thing is this, right? I think that you know, this is just the beginning of like institutional banks and investors like trying to stiff arm people and losing the war. I'm not going to get too wild with this, but I would say, I think prior to this whole global situation, governments were definitely losing power and definitely just like losing the ability to reel everybody in. And this has been an opportunity for them to like, because if you really think like the fucking governments are like, yeah, no, we care about you. We really care about you. So stay home, 15 days to slow the curve, whatever. If you really believe that, like, good luck in life. But I mean, I think, you know, it's like I think one person died in Australia in the last 2 months, and they're like, okay, we need to lock down. It was like in this area, I think it was like in Melbourne area, and one person died, 82-year-old man. They're like, we need to lock down. Like, when somebody's 82 years old and died, like, he lived a good life. Like, you know, he paid his taxes. He was a good man. He went to church on Sunday. And now they're like, we've got to, like, this is crazy. We've got to lock down for your safety. And it's just like, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And on that point, so when you get people who are bored and in their houses, starting to get into crypto, figuring things out, playing with different stuff, this is what you get. This is what you fucking get. Take a look at this shit. You got to throw this up on the screen.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't buy this NFT not to be able to show it.
Oh yeah.
So here's what I was talking about, right? So you're gonna get people bored, and you're gonna be like looking, okay, what are some of the rare cards that I can buy? Some of the old crypto history, NFT history, right? There are currently 33,000 owners of these items, 30 individual items, with some of them having more than each. There's currently, a certain trading volume, but the price floor currently, if you bought any of these cards, right, is currently 1 ETH. So 1 Ethereum, which is currently what, 3,000, $3,100, $3,200 minimum for one of these cards. And what are they? Right, basically an online art show and permanent gallery that launched in May of 2017. One of the basically this is the first art NFT project on Ethereum, so that's clout right there. Featuring 30 unique series of cards and 7 different artists. So if you go and look at these, this is 100% real. Like, let me refresh this shit, because that was 2.09 Ethereum at the beginning of the show. If I refresh it here, we'll see if it's still the same. Yeah, it went down a little bit. It's 1.99 Ethereum.
Oh, you're a scammer.
But when people are bored, they're going to come and do these things. So I got this one, number 7, the Thinker, just called Sculpture. You can buy a picture of the Mona Lisa with some stuff on the background, but basically the price of that this is going for, the last price that it went for, is 2.48 Ethereum. So if I just click on that, you can see this is verifiably true. You can come down here to the bottom and see who has bought these in the 13 minutes ago. Basically, Crypto Research sold for 2.485 Ethereum to Suzank, this one of these. And you can also see how rare they are. There's only 700 owners of these. When I bought mine for 0.9 Ethereum or 0.93 Ethereum about like a day and a half ago. And there was only about 480 owners. Now there's 965, and there's only 1,400, 1.4K of these things. So, and I own one. And if this is where it kind of becomes ridiculous. How do you what do you call it? Evaluate the fair price of your JPEG, right? You let the market decide. But once all 1,400 are out of circulation, which we're already halfway there, basically, I would basically Christie's, the art collection house, is going to basically grab a collection of these and put them up for auction in October. So from now until then, basically, it's going to appreciate in Ethereum. So in a day and a half, right, from basically, let's say 1 Ethereum to this, that's 1.35 Ethereum. So basically, for me, right, almost 1.5 Ethereum in gains just by deciding to grab this and hold it for a day and a half. That's what, like almost $4,000 just by buying a JPEG and sitting on it for a day and a half. So it's just like, oh boy, this is the world we live in. But this, this type of stuff is going to be where people are looking, and using that for like a kind of like a fashion type thing. It is what it is. It's ridiculous. I definitely agree with that. But man, all these different things happening in the space, and you got to play around with it. But I say, man, don't sleep on NFTs. Don't sleep on NFTs.
You're a fool. Miguel Pasca, 5 Great British Pounds, says, it won't surprise me those bashing crypto has purchased a secret stash for themselves without telling anyone. Yeah, exactly.
Kevin O'Leary.
O'Leary.
For so many years, he was like, crypto sucks. And all of a sudden, like, boom, he flips on a dime and says, crypto's awesome. And now he basically invested in FTX.com with them over there. He's put a lot of money into that just in the last 1 year.
Boomers are just late. Boomers just always late. But I mean, good for him.
Well, I think when he was shit talking it, he was probably buying on the back end, like this guy's saying here. So I think he's right.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for us today here in Tokyo Crypto Show. We really appreciate you for paying attention and watching with us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bells on, and go unsubscribe from like 7 other channels. Narrow down your focus, because you're going to thank us in December if you're paying attention. Don't forget Crypto Mindset course coming out September 3rd. Until then, we'll see you next.